you're really cute. I put that license away. I thought, I'm never showing this thing again.
So what happened? You went from 5'2" at 16 to what?
Yeah, my senior year, I probably grew 7, 8 inches, had mononucleosis. I couldn't, everything was stretched out, and I continued to.
For most of his career, Kevin Costner wasn't just a movie star. He was Hollywood's definition of a good man. But behind that calm exterior, he's been carrying a truth far darker than anyone imagined. He has finally exposed the 9 actors he claims are actually problematic. The very people hired to support him, yet they ended up stabbing him in the back. Were these actors really difficult, or was Costner blind to the enemy growing inside his own circle? What comes next will change the way you see them forever. Number 1, Marlon Brando. The legend Costner avoided like fire. When you start with the most famous name, Kevin Costner, refused to stand beside, you land straight on Marlon Brando, the legend everyone worshipped on screen. People think Brando was only difficult. The truth hits harder. He was a walking storm, and Costner wanted nothing to do with it. Producers who worked with both men recalled that Costner backed away from Brando as early as 1986, when Brando's team floated his name for the Connery role in The Untouchables. What scared Costner wasn't Brando's acting. It was the trail of destruction behind him. On Apocalypse Now in the Philippines, he showed up 100 pounds overweight, refused costumes, demanded the entire ending be rewritten at the base camp, and made Coppola shoot around his tantrums. Crew members still talk about the night he threw pages of dialogue into the river and said, "I won't say a single line I haven't approved." In 2000, during the score in Montreal, he humiliated director Frank Oz by repeatedly calling him Miss Piggy in front of the cast, refusing to take direction unless someone else delivered it. That was the moment Costner allegedly said privately, "That energy ruins everything around it." Costner didn't dislike Brando out of jealousy. He disliked the chaos. And the shocking part, Hollywood kept forgiving Brando while Costner stayed miles away, determined never to share a frame with him. Part 2, Madonna, the woman who turned a simple compliment into public humiliation. Madonna is the only person on this list who didn't need weeks, months, or a film set to make Kevin Costner dislike her. She did it in under 30 seconds. Their clash happened in one backstage room at the Los Angeles Sports Arena in 1990 during her Blonde Ambition tour, with a single harmless sentence from Costner. "Your show was neat. That's all it took." As soon as he walked out, Madonna turned to her camera crew filming Truth or Dare, shoved 2 fingers in her mouth like she was gagging, rolled her eyes and said, "Anyone who says my show is neat has to go." She mocked him. The crew laughed, and the footage later played in theaters worldwide. Costner never saw it coming. He walked in as a fan paying respect. She turned him into a punchline. Costner didn't explode or retaliate. That's not his style. But in 1991, when Barbara Walters asked him about the incident, he answered with a tight smile. "I don't care much for her." Those 7 words hit harder than a shout, because for a man who rarely criticizes anyone, this was a direct statement. Since then, Madonna never apologized publicly, and Costner never forgot it. Hollywood quietly learned Madonna could turn even politeness into ammunition. Part 4, Bruce Willis, the man Costner avoided before they ever shared a set. Bruce Willis earned a reputation that reached Kevin Costner long before the two ever considered working together. It was so concerning that Costner flat out refused to engage with him. The dislike began the moment Costner started hearing what Willis was doing on sets across Los Angeles in the late 80s and early 90s. On Moonlighting, filmed at ABC Studios in Burbank, Willis was known for explosive clashes with Sybil Shepherd, and crew members described days where production halted because he was upset about lighting, lines, or not feeling respected enough. Then came the stories from directors, Kevin Smith calling him difficult, producers complaining he refused to shoot coverage, assistants saying he walked off sets whenever something didn't go his way. The moment that sealed Costner's opinion came in 2010, when a mutual colleague recounted Willis smashing a prop desk during a disagreement, then bragging, "They know they can't fire me." Costner's reaction was blunt. "There's no room for people who destroy sets just to prove a point." That line wasn't just commentary, it was a boundary. Costner works in controlled environments where respect matters. Willis operated disruptively. Hollywood tried to pair them several times. Costner declined every offer, not because he feared Willis, but because he refused to clean up someone else's emotional debris. Part 5. Alec Baldwin, the man who made Costner question Hollywood's moral compass. Trouble follows Alec Baldwin the way discipline follows Kevin Costner, and that contrast is exactly where the hostility began. The breaking point for Costner came long before the Rust tragedy. In 2007, when Baldwin's angry voicemail to his 11-year-old daughter hit the news cycle, Costner privately asked a colleague, "How does a man talk that way to his own child?" That was disbelief. Then came years of front-page chaos. Baldwin shoving photographers outside his Manhattan apartment, yelling at reporters, and creating such tension on 30 Rock that crew members avoided him whenever possible. Crew members from 30 Rock later admitted they warned new hires to stay out of Baldwin's way, a sentence that infuriated Costner when he first heard it. To him, a set should feel like a workplace, not a minefield. The final straw was the 2018 parking space incident in Greenwich Village. That night, after reading the police report, Costner said what he had avoided saying for years. Some men don't deserve the second chances they keep getting. With Baldwin, the problem wasn't rivalry. It was a lack of control that everything he refuses to stand beside. Part 6. Robert Duvall, the friendship that turned into a showdown on set. Nothing prepared Kevin Costner for the shock of discovering that Robert Duvall, a man he admired long before Open Range in 2003, would become one of the most difficult collaborators of his career. Their clash came from a single explosive realization. Duvall refused to take direction from Costner, even though Costner was the director. Trouble surfaced the moment billing discussions started. Duvall made it clear he would not accept second position on the poster. Costner, stunned by the demand, tried to negotiate, but Duvall shut it down so hard that crew members still talk about the heated meeting at the Los Angeles production office. One recalled hearing Duvall snap, "I don't follow anybody," before storming out. That tone followed them onto the New Mexico set. During a pivotal scene rehearsal, Costner offered a minor adjustment to camera movement. Duvall didn't just reject it. He raised his voice in front of the entire crew, insisting he knew better and accusing Costner of over-directing. Costner kept his composure, but privately told a producer that night, "He's the most stubborn man I've ever directed." Their performances on screen looked seamless, but behind the camera, the partnership fractured. The two men finished the film professionally, yet the friendship never fully recovered. Costner never invited Duvall to collaborate again, not out of spite, but because the trust between them died on that set. Part 7. Oliver Stone, the director who pushed Costner to his limit. What made Kevin Costner and Oliver Stone turn JFK into a battlefield instead of a collaboration? The answer surfaced almost as soon as filming began in Dallas in 1991, when Costner realized Stone didn't just want to tell a story. He wanted to bend history until it fit his theory. Costner respected artistic freedom, but Stone's approach crossed a line he couldn't ignore. The first major clash happened during a script review inside Stone's New Orleans production office. Costner questioned a scene that implied factual certainty where none existed. Stone fired back instantly, pacing the room, insisting, "The audience doesn't want facts, they want truth." The distinction infuriated Costner, who believed the film carried a responsibility because it dealt with a national tragedy. Tension mounted daily. Stone pushed conspiracy angles harder. Costner kept asking for documentation. Crew members recalled days when the two men argued so intensely before shooting that the assistant director delayed call time. One witness said Stone slammed his binder onto a table and snapped, "History is a narrative. I'm shaping it." Costner walked away from JFK, publicly supportive but privately shaken. To him, Stone represented a dangerous kind of filmmaker, willing to twist reality to win an argument. Their professional respect survived, but Costner never sought another project with Stone. Now that you've heard Costner's truth, what do you think? Were these actors truly difficult, or was Hollywood hiding something even more complicated? Tell us your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more stories just like this.